You guys aren't supposed to see that yet. Hey, Carson, how are you? Welcome in. Sunday stories indeed. I'm glad you're here, Kyle. Hope everybody's having a good night. Hey, Marcy, how are you? Dropping frames, what difference does it make? Leave it alone. Hey, Queen, how are you? Southern Blue Eyes, welcome in. Well, here I am, Marcy. Here I am. Hey, Crazy Mama, how are you? Eddie, welcome in, brother. How are you? Hey, Wings, I see you sneaking in here. Well, I hope everybody is ready for a night of picture books. This is going to be a special night. Oh, Crazy Mama, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully tonight calms things down a little bit. Hey, CZ, how are you? So everybody ready for some picture books? Yes, you, Wings. I see you. Can't sneak by me. Well, Crazy Mama, I have Rainbow Fish queued up and ready, so as requested. Picture books, stuff like well, I mean, any one of the Dr. Seuss books would count. Corduroy, Where the Wild Things Are. Hey, Katie. Hey, Tina. How are you? Sky, you're here. Your phone don't work. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, it's not going to be just about looking at my face tonight. So I'm sure everybody's happy about that. Well, welcome there, Artsy Sim. Hello. Ah, the key holder. How are you? I am doing all right. It's Sunday night. It's my favorite night of the week. And, oh no! Sky, if you have a Tubes account, a Tubes of You account, I'm live over there as well. If that helps. Hello, Trista, over on the Tubes. Oh, Rita, I'm glad you were able to join. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's one that that I've been to it many times, and this was the first time I'd been invited to actually narrate. So it was actually kind of fun. $104. No, thank you. No, thank you very much. Yeah, those are definitely different stories than what I normally read. So, yeah. $90 in Chicago today. Whew. Tanya Autumn, I'm going to be reading a bunch of picture books today. Things like The Giving Tree, Green Eggs and Ham, Where the Wild Things Are. It's a little bit of a different night tonight. We're not reading chapter books. We're going to at the request of some wee ones that occasionally join, we're doing picture books tonight. I've got the very first one I have up when she gets here is Llama Llama Red Pajama. Hey, Pizza Monster, how are you? Damn, now I want pizza. Every time you come in here, it's like, I just look at your username and I'm like, damn it, I want pizza. Of course, that could also be that I want pizza all the time. So, which is true. Pizza is one of those foods that it's just, I could eat pizza for every meal, for every day, and never get sick of it. I just have this, I love pizza. It is. It's like kryptonite. And I just like cold pizza, warm pizza, breakfast pizza, cheeseburger pizza, whatever. Just put it on a pizza and I'm going to eat it. Unless it's pineapple, because pineapple does not belong on pizza. Does not belong on pizza. That's egregious. I love pineapple. Don't put it anywhere near my damn pizza. That's what I'm telling you. Alrighty then. Oh man, here's the thing though. I mean, if you did Casey, you're a super fan, so I'm going to keep my opinions about that to myself. I would eat pizza every day. I mean, a buffalo chicken pizza out this way is like an art form. Oh, no apologies necessary. You're allowed to be wrong. There's like two of you with the Hawaiian pineapple pizza. I don't know. It doesn't sit. I've tried it. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know. Sky is on YouTube's account. Oh, awesome. Well, we'll give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get started here tonight. Now I will put so wings. You don't like pizza? I'm not quite sure. What? I don't even know what to do with that. Chaka, how are you, sir? Lorna, welcome. Welcome. Yay! Nice. Come to listen to some picture books this evening. I get to do a lot of silly voices tonight, and that just makes me happy. Oh, you listened to me read yesterday. I knew there was a couple of my regulars in there. I saw Crazy Mama, and then I'm trying to think about who else I did see. That's awesome. I'm so glad you caught me last night. I was reading some fun stuff that I don't normally read. So I particularly liked the Hades and Persephone piece, which I thought was fantastic. And doze off. Well, my friend, that is perfectly acceptable. Brittany, not at all. That is not at all weird because I hear it all the time. I literally put people to sleep and I take it as a compliment. But I'm glad you're here either way. And if you happen to fall asleep and be soothed, if my voice is so soothing that you fall asleep, like I said, I take it as a compliment. Well, there's a reason, like it's why it's your child, why it's like your childhood all over again, Artsy Sim. You want to tell people? Yes, that was with Laya. Yep. Yeah, it was great. I felt bad because Tessa couldn't be there, but it turned out to be a really enjoyable night. Lulu and I did a couple that were really good. I really enjoyed. Don't tell anyone you said that. Yes, you are. My almost 21-year-old daughter. She's one that I used to read to every night without fail. Yeah, Chaka, it was yeah, when she told me what happened, I was like, holy crap. Yeah, no, totally understand. Yeah, it was definitely a fun night. It was definitely a fun night. So, well, I am going to quiet things down here, and we're going to get started. There is one person that I am waiting on, but I can skip over the story and start with something else. Hey, Zoe, how are you? Last night was actually, it was here on TikTok. It was just, I was a guest on another account. The user's name is Life with Laya. She does a lot of book talk related stuff, featuring independent authors and us crazy narrators. So Tessa Vale is a regular over there as well. Our very own Tessa Vale is a regular over there. So, but yeah, it got pointed out to me that a handful of my regulars were over there, and I thought that was wonderful that you guys showed up. Alrighty then. So, look and see. Are we ready? Is Marley ready and listening? Because I have I have Llama Llama Red Pajama all stoked and ready to go. Awesome. All right. Well, I see now I can get started. This makes me happy. I can get started. Only because Marley's here. All right. Marley, now that you're here, I can get started. I was waiting for you. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Storytime with UndeadPapa. Tonight, we're doing something a little different, but in a lot of ways, we're also going back to where all this began. The story, if you remember, those of you that were here with me a year ago, Storytime with UndeadPapa started life as just Sunday night bedtime stories. A quiet room and the simple idea of sitting down together and sharing a story. And picture books live right at the heart of that idea. For many of us, they were our first stories, the first characters we loved, the first worlds we visited, and often the first time someone sat beside us and opened a book and read aloud. So tonight we're going back to that beginning. To color, to imagination, to laughter, wonder, and stories meant to be shared. So wherever you're listening from, dim the lights, sit back and relax, because story time is about to begin. Alrighty. Now, for those of you watching on a phone, hopefully you can follow along with me. But our first story tonight was requested by one of my best fans, Miss Marley. She was here in the audience tonight. It is Llama Llama Red Pajama by Anna Dudney. Llama Llama Red Pajama reads a story with his mama. Mama kisses baby's hair. Mama Llama goes downstairs. Llama, red pajama, feels alone without his mama. Baby llama wants a drink. Mama's at the kitchen sink. Llama, red pajama calls down to his llama mama. Mama says she'll be up soon. Baby llama hums a tune. Llama, red pajama, waiting for his mama. Mama isn't coming yet. Baby llama starts to fret. Llama, red pajama, whispers softly for his mama. Mama llama hears the phone. Baby llama starts to moan. Llama, red pajama, listens quiet for his mama. What's Mama llama doing? Baby llama starts boo-hooing. Llama, red pajama, hollers loudly for his mama. Baby llama stamps and pouts. Baby llama jumps and shouts. Llama, red pajama, in the dark without his mama, eyes wide open, covers drawn. What if Mama llama's gone? Llama, red pajama, weeping, wailing for his mama. Will his mama ever come? Mama llama, run, run, run! Baby llama, what a tizzy. Sometimes mama's very busy. Please stop all this llama drama and be patient for your mama. Little llama, don't you know, Mama llama loves you so. Mama llama's always near, even if she's not right here. Llama, red pajama, gets 2 kisses from his mama. Snuggles pillow soft and deep. Baby llama goes to sleep. Well, Marley, what did you think? Do I get your approval? Because that's all I want tonight. It is a wonderful story. It's a relatively new one. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Well, I am going to pass you a hug. Oh, thank you for suggesting this, and thank you for being here tonight. Best Marley ever. Well, so the next book that I'm going to read is called Chrysanthemum. The author's name is Kevin Hankes. We're going to actually read another book by him tonight, but this one is one that I used to read to my kids all the time because it was one of my favorites. I'm just doing what I love doing, telling stories. And reading stories to little kids is my favorite. This book is one that I used to read to my kids all the time, partly because of the wonderful message that's in it, and it's just a fun book. So this one is Chrysanthemum by Kevin Hankes. Oh, go away. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. She loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. Don't worry, corduroy is coming. I have not read corduroy yet. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On her first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum. "School!" But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Really, dude? Not now. "It's so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on your name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "You're named after a flower." Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. "That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet," Victoria explained. "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now put your head down." Told you I got to do funny voices tonight. "If I had a name like yours, I'd change it," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "I wish I could," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "Your name is beautiful." "And precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome," said her father. "It's everything you are," said her mother. "Absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," she wrote. "She even looks like a flower," said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. "Let's pick her," said Rita, pointing. "Let's smell her," said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. Really, dude. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, "A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things." "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now put your head down." "I just can't believe your name," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous." "And envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. They certainly didn't say download. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream. It was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Jo was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. "Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy," Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" asked Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Jo. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "She's named after a flower." "My name is long," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It is?" said Jo. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It would?" said Rita, pointing. "And said Mrs. Twinkle, "I'm named after a flower, too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes," said Mrs. Twinkle. "My name is Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect." Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. And then she downloaded, apparently. Jo, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. "Call me Marigold," said Jo. "I'm Carnation," said Rita, pointing. "My name is Lily of the Valley," said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. Epilogue. Overall, the class musical was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made the only mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the dance of the flowers. Eventually, Mrs. Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl. And of course, she named her Chrysanthemum. I love that book. I do. It is, like I said at the beginning, it's one of my favorites that I used to read to the kids because it has such a good message to it. I would recommend Kevin Hankey's books to just about anybody. And like if I had a dream author guest, it would be Kevin Hankey's. My understanding is that he's a really great guy. And yeah, if I could have any guest author on a Sunday night, it would be Kevin Hankey's because I read so many of his books to the kids. This one, Chrysanthemum, Sheila Ray the Brave, Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, which is my absolute favorite of his, which we'll be reading here in a few minutes. And you'll understand why when I read it, because it's probably going to make me cry. That one almost did. Oh, I'm glad she liked that one. Well, our next story was one that was requested by one of our very own regulars, Crazy Mama. And this is a wonderful story as well. This one is The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister. A long way out in the deep blue sea there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales were every shade of blue and green and purple, and with sparkling scales among them. Oh, good. Sky, I hope you enjoy it. The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish. "Come on, Rainbow Fish," they would call. "Come and play with us." But the Rainbow Fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. Now, what's really fun about this book is if you go and actually pick up a copy, Rainbow Fish's scales are actually foiled. And a lot of people didn't know that when the book first came out, and it made the book doubly expensive because of the process they used to publish it. One day, a little blue fish followed after him. "Rainbow Fish," he called, "wait for me. Please give me one of your shiny scales. They are so wonderful, and you have so many." "You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are?" cried the Rainbow Fish. "Get away from me." Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. He was so upset, he told all his friends what had happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with the Rainbow Fish. They turned away when he swam by. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish. "I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anybody like me?" "No, I can answer that for you," said the starfish. "But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus. Maybe she can help you." Well, that should have said, "I can't answer that for you." The Rainbow Fish found the cave. It was very dark inside, and he couldn't see anything. Then suddenly 2 eyes caught him in their glare, and the octopus emerged from the darkness. "I have been waiting for you," said the octopus with a deep voice. "The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy." "I can't," the Rainbow Fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink. "Give away my scales? My beautiful, shining scales? Never! How could I ever be happy without them? Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The little blue fish was back. Rainbow fish, please don't be angry. I just want one little scale. The rainbow fish wavered. Only one very, very small shimmery scale, he thought. Well, maybe I wouldn't miss just one. Carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the little fish. Thank you very much, the little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shiny scale in among his blue ones. A rather peculiar feeling came over the rainbow fish. For a long time he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new scale glittering in the water. The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing, so it didn't take long before the rainbow fish was surrounded by the other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. The rainbow fish shared his scales left and right, and the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. When the water around him filled with glimmering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. Finally, the rainbow fish had only one shining scale left. His most prized possessions had been given away. Yet he was very happy. "Come on, rainbow fish," they called. "Come and play with us." "Here I come," said Rainbow Fish, and happy as a splash, he swam off to join his friends. All right. Well, Sky, I hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you stick around for the rest of the evening. I'm going to move this one back a little bit, because I don't think the person that requested it is here yet. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad she have to. Sky, I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. And I'm so glad that you could be here with us tonight. Well, we're going to push off Where the Wild Things Are for a little bit because the person that requested it is not here yet. So we're going to find out. Oh, I'm glad. That's wonderful. So this next book is another book that was requested. You are here and you requested it, so you get it. This is Corduroy by Don Freeman. This one was first published. Where is it? It's an older one, 1968. Well, this won't be the last time I'm doing this, so feel free to request away. And who knows, I might already have the one you want. I might already have the one you want lined up, so you never know. All right, well, where are we going here? Hello. Stop scrolling down, thank you. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said. "Look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. Go away, thank you. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around, admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button!" he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until, pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from behind the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers. Alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed, just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like the enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be my friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. Well, that is another one. Well, Brittany, I do 4 lives a week. I do Sunday, Monday, which are usually family friendly nights, and then Wednesday and Friday I reserve for some a little bit of darker stories. I do horror and science fiction and crazy fantasy stories, stuff like that, and yeah. But I have a lot of people that show up for all 4 nights, and a lot of people that just show up for the family nights. So it's a fun place to be. And I'm glad you're here. But we do 4 nights of storytelling, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, each of the 4 nights. And you're always welcome. And we've got a great little community here, a bunch of very caring people. Well, Brittany, now's your chance to hang out. Hang out and stay for a little while. It's a nice place to be. Marley's picking up more too. Awesome. I love them too, Jasmine. I enjoy reading those, and I mean the science fiction stories are always fun too. But there's something special about the Sunday, Monday nights. You know, and just they're a nice way to start the week. Is what I say. So now another one of my favorites, and this one is this one is one of my favorites because it's the kid's just so snarky, and he is having the worst day, and I can relate so much. So very much. Oh, Brittany, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So this one is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Vorst. And it's illustrated by Ray Cruz. You go away. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard and by mistake dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. Oh, Jessica, I'm glad. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window, too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be carsick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore, and he said that Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity in just me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby, and while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So when we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers, Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose the blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones. They can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that, even in Australia. My kids have heard me say that more than once. Yep, some days are like that, even in Australia. It's always fun to have those kinds of little callbacks with your kids, you know? It is one of my favorites because I love reading it because the kid is, like I said, he's so snarky and he's so pissed off that he's having such a bad day. And everybody's just like, yeah, dude, some days are like that. Get over it. Oh, goodness. Let's see. How long are we going to do that last? Well, let's turn to some Dr. Seuss, shall we? I don't have any Serendipity. I do know are the Serendipity books, the ones that you're talking about. I remember them from the Scholastic Book Fairs, I think, when I was a kid. Yeah, Rita, I do have some Seuss. I actually have 2 Seuss books tonight. We'll see if we can fit them in. My kids can tell you I used to read Green Eggs and Ham in like the worst accents. It would drive them nuts. So I would just do it more. Oh, let's see. So I think it's a parent's, like, it's, I don't even call it a right. It's like a duty you have to annoy your children occasionally. See, that's what I do here, Brittany. I'm glad. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. Well, this one, if you haven't figured it out already, is Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Yeah, Crazy Mama, me too. I love this book. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Could you, in a car? Eat them. Eat them. Here they are. I would not, could not, in a car. You may like them. You will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not, in a tree. Not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. A train! A train! A train! A train! Would you on a train? Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I would not, could not, in a box. I would not, could not, with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Say, in the dark? Here in the dark. Could you, in the dark? I would not, could not, in the dark. Could you, in the rain? I would not, could not, in the rain. Not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam, I am. Would you with a goat? I would not, could not with a goat. Could you, on a boat? I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. You do not like them, so you say. Try them and you may. Try them and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see. Uh-oh. Sam, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam, I am. And I would eat them in a boat. And I would eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box. And I will eat them with a fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse. I will eat them here and there. I will eat them anywhere. Oh, Sam. So what I used to do when I get there and then I go, let's see. Let's start. I do not like them, Sam, I am. I would not, could not with a goat. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Could you with a boat? On a train? Yeah, those are the accents that would get me in trouble with my kids. You do not like green eggs and ham. Oh, I do not like them, Sam, I am. Okay, so let's see. Do I want to read Lily's Purple Plastic Purse yet? Yeah, I think it's time. Okay, so this, as promised, is another... I win. That's it. I don't have to do any better than I have right now because Marley's laughing. That's all that matters to me. That's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. That makes it all worthwhile. All worthwhile. All right. Well, as promised, this is the other Kevin Hankey's book that I wanted to read. It's my absolute favorite. It has a wonderful message to it. I'll warn you, I get a little teary at the end, but it's not anything you guys haven't seen before. This is Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. I'm not sure I would try it either. I'll eat a lot of things, but green eggs and ham, I'll take I like my eggs normal colored. I love school. Lily loved school. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. And she loved the way her boots went clickety, clickety, click down the long, shiny hallways. Lily loved the privacy of her own desk. She loved the fish sticks and chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. "Wow," Lily said. That was just about all she could say. Wow. Oops. Instead of greetings, students, or good morning, pupils, Mr. Slinger winked and said, "Howdy." He thought that desks in rows were old-fashioned and boring. "Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle?" And he always provided the most tasty snacks, things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Me too," said her friends Chester, Wilson, and Victor. Victor, yes. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. "I am the teacher," she told her baby brother Julius. "Listen up." Lily even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. "What's with Lily?" asked her mother. "I thought she wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva," said her father. "It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger," said her mother. "Wow," said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Dude, seriously. Whenever the students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing. Lily went often. She had a lot of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him, too. During sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line, even though she didn't ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anyone in class, even if she didn't know the answer. And she volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds, and a chain like Mr. Slinger's. She had shiny quarters. She had 3 shiny quarters, and best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it was opened. Lily wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Listen to our story." Lily had a hard time listening. Lily really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Let's be considerate of our classmates." Lily had a hard time being considerate. Lily really, really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Wait until recess or sharing time." But Lily could not wait. The glasses were so glittery, the quarters were so shiny, and the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. "Look," Lily whispered fiercely. "Look, everyone, look what I've got." Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger. He was not amused. "I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day," said Mr. Slinger. They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lily longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. That afternoon, Lily went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. She thought and she thought and she thought, and then she became angry. She thought and she thought and she thought some more, and then she became furious. She thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer, and then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. Big fat Maine Mr. Slinger, Mr. Stealing Teacher. Wanted by FBI. P.S. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up. Right before the last bell rang, Lily sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lily and gave her purple plastic purse back. It's a beautiful purse, said Mr. Slinger. Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up, Lily said as she marched out of the classroom. On her way home, she opened the purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside. And so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Lily ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lily decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. I'll stay here 1,000,000 years for Mr. Slinger. Why does everything always happen to me? 1,051, 1,052, 1,099. That night, Lily drew a picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him. Lily was really, really sorry, so everyone forgave her. Even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher. And then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and the worms. The end. Lily's mother wrote a note, and Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. I think Mr. Slinger will understand, said Lily's mother. I know he will, said Lily's father. The next morning, Lily got to school early. These are for you, Lily said to Mr. Slinger, because I'm really, 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 really sorry. Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture. And he read the note, and he sampled the snacks. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was about all he could say. Wow. What do you think we should do with this? Asked Mr. Slinger. Could we just throw it away? Asked Lily. Excellent idea, said Mr. Slinger. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse. her shiny quarters, and her glittery movie star sunglasses. Then she did a little performance using them as props. "It's called interpretive dance," said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. "Wow," said the entire class. And that was just about all they could say. Wow. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at them often, but it did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lily's snacks to everyone's delight. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Mr. Slinger. "A teacher," everyone responded. Lily's response was the loudest. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lily held her plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy. And she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver. I love that story. I think my favorite thing is just, today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better. And I can tell you, I've told my kids that 1,000 times. And probably 1,000 more than that. Today was a difficult day. But tomorrow will be better. Don't ever forget that. All right. Now, how many of you know the pigeon? I know the pigeon. You know the pigeon. I know you know the pigeon. And what do we not do? Well, we don't let the pigeon drive the bus. The author and illustrator's name is Mo Willems. "Hi, I'm the bus driver. Listen, I've got to leave for a little while. So can you watch things for me until I get back? Thanks." You don't know the pit? Well, then you pay attention. Thanks. Oh, and remember, don't let the pigeon drive the bus. I thought he'd never leave. Hey, can I drive the bus? Please? I'll be careful. I'll tell you what, I'll just steer. Well, that's just more reason for you guys to sit and listen. So there. My cousin Herb drives a bus almost every day. True story. Vroom, vroom, vroomy, vroom, vroom. Pigeon at the wheel. No. I never get to do anything. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's play Drive the Bus. I'll go first. Come on, just once around the block. I'll be your best friend. How about I give you $5? No fair. I bet your mom would let me. What's the big deal? It's just a bus. I have dreams, you know. Fine. Let me drive the bus! I'm back. You didn't let the pigeon drive the bus, did you? Oh, Great. Thanks a lot. Uh-oh. Bye. Hey. I actually have like several of the pigeon "Don't Let the Pigeon" series, and they're all just as funny. And again, this is the thing I loved about tonight is I get to just be unhinged. The gentleman's name is Mo Willems. Mowillems. He also wrote another book called Knuffle Bunny, which is another delightful one. I am still digging through all of the books that I have out in my garage, and I know there's like another like 2 boxes of children's books that I have out there. Dudes is the cat on SNL. Oh, jeez. Well, from one modern classic to another. Oh, Tina, absolutely. Absolutely. And you let me know how he likes it. I'm just this, yeah. So, anyway, this next one is called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Joff Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. I love this book. Goes right up there with If You Give a Moose a Muffin. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks in the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. 3 copies. I love it. Wear them out so fast you gotta have 3. Yep. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask you to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask you for paper and crayons. Crayons, not crayons, crayons. He'll draw a picture. When the picture's finished, he'll want to sign his name with a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back and look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. And that's only the beginning. I'll have to find some of the other ones in the series. If you give a moose a muffin, if you give a I think it's like give a cat a cupcake. There's like a whole bunch of them, and I think I have several of them. We're not doing okay. So, oops. No, what did I just close? No. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, let's get that back. All right. So, let's see. That's 10:25. That's not bad. Biscuit books. I do not know biscuit books. I will have to look them up. Biscuit as in like a dog biscuit? Like the dog? Is it the dog's name Biscuit? Because I'm open to recommendations. Oh, well, then I'm going to have to look that up then, because who doesn't love a book about a dog? I have a bunch of Clifford books. Oh, that's coming. Tell her she's got to be a little patient. Sky, you got to be a little patient. I'll get there. Don't you worry. Mike Mulligan was my favorite as a kid. And what's amazing is how old the book is and how well the story just holds up. Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Mary Ann. Mike Mulligan was very proud of Mary Ann. He always said that she could dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. But he had never been quite sure that this was true. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had been digging together for years and years. Mike Mulligan took such good care of Mary Ann, she never grew old. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the great canals for the big boats to sail through. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who cut through the high mountains so that trains could go through. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who lowered the hills and straightened the curves. To make the long highways for the automobiles. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who smoothed out the ground and filled in the holes to make the landing fields for the airplanes. And it was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the deep holes for the cellars of the tall skyscrapers in the big cities. When people used to stop and watch them, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann used to dig a little faster and a little better. The more people stopped, the faster and better they dug. Some days they would they would keep as many as 37 trucks busy taking away the dirt they had dug. Then along came the new gasoline shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels, and took all the jobs away from the steam shovels. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann were very sad. All the other steam shovels were being sold for junk or left out in old gravel pits to rust and fall apart. Mike loved Mary Ann. He couldn't do that to her. He had taken such good care of her that she could still dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. At least he thought she could, but he wasn't quite sure. Everywhere they went, the new gas shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels had all the jobs. No one wanted Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann anymore. Then, one day, Mike read in a newspaper that the town of Popperville was going to build a new town hall. "We're going to dig the cellar of that town hall," said Mike to Mary Ann. And off they started. They left the canals and the railways and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore, and went away out in the country. They crawled along slowly, up the hills and down the hills, till they came to the little town of Popperville. When they got there, they found that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. "I heard," he said, "that you are going to build a new town hall. Mary Ann and I will dig the cellar for you in just 1 day." "What?" said Henry B. Swap. "Dig a cellar in 1 day? It would take 100 men at least a week to dig the cellar for our new town hall." "Sure," said Mike, "but Mary Ann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week." Though he had never been quite sure that this was true, then he added, "If we can't do it, you won't have to pay." Henry B. Swap thought that this would be an easy way to get part of the cellar dug for nothing. So he smiled in a rather mean way and gave the job of digging the cellar of the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. They started early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along. "Do you think you will finish it by sundown?" he said to Mike Mulligan. "Sure," said Mike. "If you stay and watch us, we always work faster and better when someone is watching us." So the little boy stayed to watch. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening, and they stayed to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and a little better. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into the town for the day. They all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. Clang, clang, clang. The fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought there was a fire. Then the little boy said, "Why don't you stay and watch?" So the fire department of Popperville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children in the school across the street couldn't keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called a long recess, and the whole school came out to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig still faster and still better. They finished the second corner neat and square, but the sun was right up in the top of the sky. Now the girl who answers the telephone called up the next towns of Bangerville and Bopperville and Kipperville and Copperville and told them what was happening in Popperville. All the people came over to see if Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel could dig the cellar in just 1 day. The more people came, the faster Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug, but they would have to hurry. They were only halfway through, and the sun was beginning to go down. They finished the third corner neat and square. Never had Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had so many people to watch them. Never had they dug so fast and so well. And never had the sun seemed to go down so fast. "Hurry, Mike Mulligan! Hurry! Hurry!" shouted the little boy. "There's not much more time." Dirt was flying everywhere, and the smoke and steam were so thick the people could hardly see anything. But listen. Could hardly see anything. But listen. I can't even see what that says. The text is too small. Bang, bang, crash. Louder and louder, faster and faster. Damn these old man eyes. Then, suddenly it was quiet. Slowly, the dirt settled down. The smoke and steam cleared away. And there was the cellar, all finished. 4 corners, neat and square, 4 walls, straight down. And Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann at the bottom. And the sun was going down behind the hill. "Hooray!" shouted the people. "Hooray for Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel! They have dug the cellar in just 1 day." Suddenly, the little boy said, "How are they going to get out?" "That's right," said Mrs. McGillicuddy to Henry B. Swap. "How is he going to get his steam shovel out?" Henry B. Swap didn't answer, but he smiled in a rather mean way. Then everybody said, "How are they going to get out? Hey, Mike Mulligan, how are you going to get your steam shovel out?" Mike Mulligan looked around at the 4 square walls and 4 square corners, and he said, "We've dug so fast and we've dug so well that we quite forgotten to leave a way out. Nothing like this has ever happened to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann before, and they didn't know what to do." Nothing like this had ever happened in Popperville. Everybody started talking at once, and everybody had different ideas, and everybody thought that his idea was the best. They talked, and they talked, and they argued, and they fought till they were worn out. And still, no one knew how to get Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann out of the cellar. They had dug out of the cellar they had dug. Then Henry B. Swap said, "Well, the job isn't finished because Mary Ann isn't out of the cellar," said Mike. "So Mike Mulligan won't get paid." And he smiled again in a rather mean way. Now the little boy, who had been keeping very quiet, had another good idea. "Why couldn't we leave Mary Ann in the cellar and build the new town hall above her? Let her be the furnace for the new town hall, and let Mike Mulligan be the janitor. Then you wouldn't have to buy a new furnace, and we could pay Mike Mulligan for digging the cellar in just 1 day." "Why not?" said Henry B. Swap, and smiled in a way that was not quite so mean. "Why not?" said Mrs. McGillicuddy. "Why not?" said the town constable. "Why not?" said all the people. So they found a ladder and climbed down into the cellar to ask Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. "Why not?" said Mike Mulligan. So it was decided, and everybody was happy. They built the new town hall right over Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, and it was finished before winter. Every day the little boy goes over to see Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, and Mrs. McGillicuddy takes him nice hot apple pies. As for Henry B. Swap, he spends most of his time in the cellar of the new town hall listening to the stories that Mike Mulligan has to tell, and smiling in a way that isn't mean at all. So now when you go to Popperville, be sure to go down to the cellar of the new town hall. There they'll be, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, Mike in his rocking chair smoking his pipe, and Mary Ann beside him warming up the meetings in the new town hall. It is one of my favorites. It really was. I loved that as a kid. I still love it. Gosh darn Henry B. Swap. The meanest, cheapest man in Popperville. It is a lot like that, the little engine that could. Well, It is now 10:40. And I think... this one we're going to do... Oops. You know what? That's not what I wanted. I had to redo a few of these so I could actually do them. That's not the one. There we are. Okay. All right, so this one, I would say most of us should know. This is Where the Wild Things Are. Stories and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. Now, this one was requested by our very own Tessa Vale, but she's not here right now. I was kind of waiting for her and hoping she'd be here, but she's not, so I will go ahead and do this one anyway. And then she'll hear it some other time. All right. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. Linda, the book that I read previous was Mike Mulligan and his Steam Shovel. Just in case no one answered. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." I've always wanted to have a wild rumpus. I love the artwork in this book. Like, this is one of those books that I could just I didn't even have to read it. I could just go through this book and just look at Maurice Sendak was genius. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely, and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around them, far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up, we love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye, and sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. It is such a beautiful simple story. Yeah, love it. All right. So now we're down to 3 stories. The next one we're going to read is one of my favorite Dr. Seuss stories. It is often, if you don't know, it's actually often given as a gift for graduation. And that is when I first received my copy. This is Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations! Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You'll have brains in your head. You'll have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there, in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. Oi, go away. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and chances are then you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked, some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, you should turn left or right. Should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind. Simple it's not, I'm afraid you'll find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place. The waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the train to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, waiting for a wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting, perhaps, for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame! You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they don't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. Dude. All alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something. You'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go. Through the weather, though the weather be foul, on you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, through the hacken, though the hacken cracks foul. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore, and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course. As you already know, you'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxbaum, Bixby, or Bray, or Mordecai, Alley, Van Allen, O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way. All right, well, we are down to our last two stories, and I saved these two special to be our very last stories. They both are very, they just seem appropriate. 80,000, you guys are amazing. So this next to last one is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples, and they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered. "Come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. After a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are all gone. My teeth are too weak to eat apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I do not need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. Well, we are right on time. And I am very happy that you all stayed with me tonight. Marley and Sky, I'm so glad to have had you guys here tonight. I really, really, it means the world to me that I was able to read to all of you tonight. So let's do our last story. And I think some of you can already tell what it is. And this is one that I used to close out in the night with my kids when they were very little. It is Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown with pictures by Clement Hurd. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light on the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, little kitten. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. And good night, socks. Good night, little house. And good night, mouse. Good night, comb. And good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. All right. Well, that is where we'll leave our stories for tonight, with a reminder that sometimes the simplest stories are the ones that stay with us the longest. I'm sure I can imagine. Thank you all for spending a little time with me around the fire tonight. And thank you for continuing to build this corner of the world with me. Storytime began with one Sunday night, one book, and a handful of people that gathered to listen. And little by little, it has become something more. A community. A place to return to, a place built one story, one night, and one person at a time. My hope is that we keep building it together. Now, years from now, this is still a place where people can come, sit down by the fire, and know there will always be a story waiting for them. If you enjoy these stories and would like to help support what I do here, please consider becoming a superfan or visiting the UndeadPapa Mercantile. My link is in my bio. Every bit of support helps keep the campfire lit. And as always, until next time, please be kind to each other. And be kind to yourself, because kindness matters. And so do you. Good night, everybody. And good night over there on the tubes. I appreciate you guys for hanging